Sup, diggity D-dog? Now you're gonna see a little about a science we call psychology. It was pretty sketchy in the early 20th century, but it's gained respect from many people recently. The first thing you need to know about the science of the mind is that there are 7 main perspectives that you will find. The psychoanalytic perspective was developed by a wacko named Freud, who said that if you see your mom, you'll get a fire in your loins. Carl Rogers came up with a humanistic perspective, for which self-actualization is the primary objective. The renegade John Watson created behaviorism, stating that learning primarily influences organisms. Cognitive psychology was coined by Ulrich Neisser. Internal mental processes made psychologists all the wiser. Sociocultural theory stems from the work of Young and Deceased led by Vygotsky. Cool things like the zone of proximal development were suppressed by the commies. Biological psychology looks at the neurotransmitters and hormones. When you study brain parts, I guarantee that you will groan. The evolutionary perspective says natural selection produces behaviors, but we haven't learned enough about this for me to make a decent rhyme. Of course, it's always good to categorize, but without the work from these psychologists, there wouldn't be a reason why. Stanley Milgram's experiment was shocking, electrical, but was it really in any way ethical? Elizabeth Loftus says our memory is faulty, justice isn't a topic, that's it all paltry. Masters and Johnson, well, let's not go there. When reading The Experiment, the squeamish will get a scare. David L. Rosenhan went undercover to investigate. Negative effects diagnostic labels exacerbate. Harry Harlow practically discovered why people love each other. When you become a parent, be more than a wire mother. Skinner is the master of pigeons and superstition, the latter of which can be good. Don't give him a mental petition. Ivan Pavlov, the dog lover, discovered classical conditioning, risking his whole career to accomplish this. Can you believe such a thing? Dog lovers like Pavlov would have burned Seligman at the stake. He taught our innocent best friends that helplessness was their fate. Miss Brunink may expect a lot from you. You may go, what the heck? You'll be enlightened once you learn about Rosenthal's Pygmalion effect. Murray and baby Freud conducted studies, but the validity of the methodology is downright cruddy. Trianis Rotter and Bem studied personality, culture, locus of control, and masculine femininity. These studies are important, and hopefully you have learned a thing or two, but now it's time to go over some terms. Concept of safety in numbers is one you'll soon reject. More watchers means less help. That's the bystander effect. The flawed thinking that objects serve just one purpose is functional fixedness. You can't use pencils as support beams. That's insanity, craziness. The hierarchy of needs was Abraham Maslow's creation. Physiological safety, belongingness, self-esteem, and self-actualization. Relative deprivation states that happiness comes from comparing yourself to others. You will be fairly sad if you get beaten by your brother. Neurons allow different body parts to be completely in sync. Without these crazy cool cells, none of us could even think. A big philosophical question is what makes us happy and keeps us from moaning. A non-romantic answer would be the neurotransmitter serotonin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, REM, 2, 3, 4, etc. is the order of the sleep cycle. Stages 3 and 4 is when a person is most likely to sleepwalk. Heck, they could even sleep bicycle. The just noticeable difference, or JND, marks the minimal fractional stimulus difference necessary to be perceived. Trial and error information retrieval algorithms, heuristics, and means and analysis are all problem-solving techniques to use next time you have mental paralysis. Physical issues without observable problems are called psychosomatic. The cause for these is psychological. Don't be a stress addict. Well, that's all for today. Did you like what you heard? Psychology is so cool, it is almost absurd. Whoa!